So now this is recording and saving the local drive, right?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, and four,
Three, two. Good evening. Welcome to another sit down with Scuba and Arai, another episode of our ongoing series about the Mandalorian. Episode 3 dropped last week, so we had a chance to check that out, and wow, that had some real surprises in it.
Episode 3.
Yes.
It definitely had a lot of interesting things. A lot more action than the last episode.
Yeah.
But from the way the second episode ended, I was giving a good indication or a predication of there's going to be a little bit more action because he was returning Baby Yoda to the people that asked for him.
Yeah. So yeah, here's your obligatory 3, 2, 1 on spoilers. If you haven't watched it yet, get Disney Plus, go check it out, and then come back and follow up. So with that, you've been warned. Mandalorian culture, a lot of Mandalorian culture in this episode.
I liked how they went further with that culture for the Mandalorian. And the great thing that I've liked so far, which I've mentioned before, is that they are revealing stuff to people that don't know too much about the Mandalorian lore like me, without beating you over the head like this is this is that. They're doing exposition through visual cues, through conversation, through just organic detail of just living the day, or living the life of said person or said bounty hunter in this case. So I enjoyed seeing that. I enjoyed seeing how the Mandalorian group interacted. They had a very kind of like conflicting but brotherly kind of tone.
Yeah, I thought that was really kind of fascinating because it went into and discussed the purge of Mandalore.
Oh yeah.
And how, they've all gone underground to where now you can't. Only one or two come out at one comes out at a time. So no, it seems like they've gone to great lengths for the galaxy as a whole to think that there are virtually none left.
Yeah.
And it turns out they've got a fairly thriving culture, even though it's all underground in safe houses.
Yeah, it seems like they pull from that culture of hiding in the shadows, like a true hiding in the shadows. Because like you said, they only come out every once in a blue moon, and they don't want to let the galaxy know they still exist because there's got to be a reason why they want to stay hiding.
Yes. And that brotherly love kind of deal, that definitely tell there's some conflict with some of the characters in there.
I like how the armor shut that down. Is like, you are not fighting in here.
Yes.
And they all just stopped.
It's like this is the way, and then
this is the way.
And then he's like, yeah, it's like reforged his entire armor. And it's like, yeah, that would attract attention.
What I do like is that they are not greedy with the spoils, especially what happened when he used most of the stuff to make the armor, but the rest went to the children.
Yes, I thought that was very good, very good. I like how you could see with his interactions with the Baby Yoda, for lack of a better description, those interactions, and then also the whole he was starting to question what they were going to do with the child.
I had a pretty good feeling the way that this episode played out. It had a very predictable tone because I had a feeling because of what it preluded in the first couple episodes, mostly in the second episode. There's something in his past that triggered something with this Baby Yoda. Mm-hmm. So, not knowing the real truth of what they were going to do with him, kind of just triggered something, and they did do a flashback furthering what happened to him in the past.
Yeah.
So whatever that thing was caused him to just be like, screw it, I'm going after everybody.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. What do you think about? Can't remember the actor's name. I think it's. He played Dylan in the original Predator. So, but he was the guild leader for the for the bounty hunters.
His name is Grief Karga.
Yes, the actor's name though is something else.
But
but yeah, Grief Karga and the whole thing with the guild and that. Oh yeah, he basically gave the little fob to everybody.
Oh yeah.
And nobody could get this thing.
At least they didn't dance around that. They didn't make that a lingering plot thread throughout the show. At least they wrapped it up pretty quickly. That the fobs were given out to everybody, even though it might have seemed like he was supposed to be the one. And another thing is, he gave it out to everybody with not giving the complete truth, because everybody else was coming after to kill the thing, but he told him, not to.
Yeah. And he was also like, look, go celebrate, go whatever, and take it. And he took the next job, which put him he was trying really hard, but you could see, even though, and that's what I love about so far with him, is even though he's wearing the helmet, you can't see the face. You hear it in the voice. Yeah. You hear it in the actions that he's conflicted and fighting with this.
Yeah. And
until the moment where he just decides, no, I'm going to go get this child and protect this child.
Oh, yeah. And that's why there's a lot of comparison to old school westerns, because that's how old school westerns used to do. Everything was a visual cue, was a handshake, a mannerism, just them just staring down people. And in this case, since he has a helmet on, it's you feel it. You feel it, like you said, in his voice and his body language, and him just staring at the ball in his the ball thing in his ship.
The little knob.
You knew that he enough was enough. And that just gives it a testament to not only the writing, the direction, but also the actor himself, Pedro Pascal, that plays the Mandalorian. It shows how great of an actor is. He doesn't need to talk or give a sad face or a happy face. You can feel what he's feeling just through his mannerisms.
And since you alluded to that whole sequence where he realized, all right, I'm gonna go get the child.
Oh yeah.
That whole infiltration was just like. Oh, I was so happy with that.
I loved watching the infiltration because it wasn't just straight, clean cookie cutter get in, get out. It was down to
earth. It looked like he got kind of he went in one way and came out a completely different way.
He had to improvise getting in that building and getting out, and that's what I liked.
And then all of a sudden, all the fobs going off, and he's being surrounded.
Yeah.
And it's like you could tell even Gareth was like, picking a fight with this guy is not necessarily going to be good.
No, and then once the fight started, you saw why. Once he pulled out that gun and just started sniping people,
it's like it's a cattle prod, a disintegrator, a listening device. This is like the Swiss Army knife of tech. Yeah, it's hilarious.
When he pulled it out, everybody had that look like, oh my goodness, he's going to get us all,
Yeah. And then when it looks like he's down and out, he can't get out, all of a sudden we see probably the best sequence in the whole episode. And that is that entire Mandalorian camp coming out in force. And I was just so excited to see that.
When they came out, I was so excited to see, because I was just wondering, how are they going to use that last second save trope to save him? But at least it made sense.
Oh, it did.
At least it wasn't just pull a rabbit out of its hat to save him. There was a point for the Mandalorian crew to save him, because it's ties to that brotherhood.
Yeah.
That no matter
that
what,
community bond.
That community bond. But it also destroys their covert operations, because now they got to move.
Yeah, and he was like, "Well, we got to move," but they didn't seem to mind.
Yeah.
It was obvious. I'm guessing even they knew that this was a bad deal, and he was trying to make amends.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it all ties back to that, like when they revealed the whole point of giving some of the armor to the children. It all comes back full circle. Everything has a point. Very subtle, very hinting at it, but not beating you over the head to make things work for the story. It just happens to work. It's just very organic, which is another testament to the writing.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the episode 4.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to episode 4. I am staying away from any kind of synopsis, because I'd rather be surprised than.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a series to check out.
So if things are predictable, it's usually tied to just the technicalities of the directing of the show.
Oh yeah. Question, technicalities and whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think he knew what he shot at when he shot Gareth to get him off the ship? Did you know? Did you catch that?
Where he shot? He might have. I didn't know because I thought he was dead. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. There are times where I was like, I know what y'all doing here. I didn't even think about that
Because
until he was.
in the cantina,
Yeah.
he pulls it from that pocket
Yeah.
and puts it back, and then when he shot it and made him fall off the ship, do you think Mando knew where he shot him, or do you think it just happened to be a coincidence?
Well, he's a very good shot, so
I'm gonna go with he
that
knew.
He knew. I didn't know until he fell to the ground. I was like, oh crap! I know where he shot. That's where the thing was. So yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens, because I'm wondering if there's a few more layers to that whole relationship between him and Gareth, because even Gareth seemed surprised, generally surprised, and the rest of the bounty hunters all seemed generally shocked at this descent of Mandalorians.
Oh yeah.
To
defend once they came out, they were like,
I'm done.
I can't do anything. What's going on, people? But yeah, I meant like I said, the outline was kind of predictable. You kind of knew what was going to happen, but the enjoyment of the show, and just at this point, you're like completely engrossed. And whenever it comes to new shows, regardless of it this being the Mandalorian, any shows, TV shows, it takes about 3 episodes in if it's going to make or break the series. You have to build up. You have to lay the foundation.
You have to world build.
You have to where the story goes in the direction in episode 2, and episode 3 just brings everything to a point to keep moving the story forward. And that's what this point did. You know where this story is going. You're completely engrossed in this world, and everything makes sense.
Yeah, that's the thing I like the most. Nothing seems too out of place. Yeah. It feels very lived in. It feels very real. So, I guess we'll just have to check out episode 4 and carry on.
Yep. And this episode was directed by Deborah Cho, and another episode written by our guy Jon Favreau.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up being the Kevin Feige of Star Wars.
Okay. And just to give some backdrop, the director did a few shows. Directed a few shows. Copper on BBC, Reign and Beauty and the Beast on CW, and a few episodes of Mr. Robot for USA Network.
Cool. Well, with that, stay tuned for episode 4 and episode which should come out this week, hopefully. I believe it does.
Yep, November 29th.
Yep.
Next episode.
This Friday. And with that, this is the way.
This is the way. Run.